So we're going to start out with a video, a little quick video.
Those town hall meetings in the summer recess of 2009, weren't they wild? Voters were on fire about the then recently passed stimulus bill and the upcoming health care bill.
Wait a minute. You want to leave? Please.
I am going to speak my mind before I leave.
You have awakened the sleeping giant.
I charge you, Senator Cardin, with usurping authority not granted to you as a United States Senator. How are you going to look at my children in their eyes and tell them they're going to have a better future with $99 trillion? Say it with me. $99 trillion that you did. This is really not about health care reform or insurance reform. It's a bill about government control.
We're going to pay more taxes because of you, sir.
So what makes you think the government could run a new health care program?
Stay out of my business. Stay out of my health care. The whole bill needs to be started over and concentrate on those things that are not going to cost anything.
You're getting ready to sign a check on the backs of the American people without checking the bank account, and I'm afraid you're going to bounce another check.
I, as a 20-year-old person, will have to deal with this for the rest of my life. And I will have to pay for that.
This is not a federal government issue. This is a people issue. Well, our lawmakers about to take that same heat during this year's summer vacation. Freedom Works President Matt Kibbe joins us. Nice to see you, Matt.
Hey, Greta.
All right, Matt, that was 2009, and now you're calling for more town halls this summer. Why in the world would any member of Congress venture out if you're going to take that kind of heat?
Well, it's one of their first responsibilities as representatives of the people. It's their job to go back home in August. It used to be a de facto American right to get to look your paid representative in the eye and say, this is what I think. It used to be a sort of a Norman Rockwell thing to do. Now they don't do it anymore. They're hiding. They don't put the schedule online. They don't tell people what's going to go on. Sometimes they do teletown halls where they manipulate who gets to talk and who doesn't. So we figured the only way to get these town hall meetings, this de facto right of every American, is for citizens to crowdsource it, demand it, and to share that information with everybody else, because one way or another, the shareholders should get a chance to speak to the CEOs.
Is it fair, though, to expect that, like, it's one thing to have passion and really want to talk to your member of Congress or your senator and communicate how you feel very strong. Another thing to sort of throw verbal, bombs at them and to scream at them. I mean, is there some way to sort of put the lid on so constituents, American citizens, can have that passionate debate without basically trashing the member of Congress?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. If you get up to the microphone, be assertive, but let the congressman respond. I think that the great thing about what we saw in 2009 was that frustration in the process by which Congress was trying to jam something through without hearing from the American people. And now all of those theoretical arguments about Obamacare are real and visceral. People are starting to run the numbers. They're starting to see the Congress and the Obama administration are trying to exempt the insiders at the expense of us. And you're going to have this fight coming out in September and October. And I do think the American people deserve a right to talk to their members of Congress.
All right, how many so far, members of Congress, do you know who are going out there, they're going to hold town halls and speak to their constituents during this 5 weeks?
So we've set up a website called demandatownhall.com, and it's just getting started now. Folks are calling their representatives, and we have about 26 events posted there right now, which is kind of pathetic. I think that all members of Congress really need to be held accountable, and we're asking activists, if your member won't show up, we're going to hold a town hall without them. And that's already happening in states like Texas and South Carolina. But the frustration is only going to build if the American people don't get a voice in this process.
But do you actually know of any members of Congress right now, House or Senate, who have said, yes, I'm going to have a town hall, I'm going to speak to my constituents during this 5-week period, I'm going to do face-to-face?
Absolutely. They're posted on our website. Mike Lee in Utah is hosting a whole series of them. And I find it interesting, the folks that so far have agreed to hold town halls, have agreed to make them public, have agreed to let everybody show up and express their opinion, are the folks that are standing by principle and comfortable with the positions that they ran on, the positions they're voting on today, and what they're doing to represent their constituents.
You know, a lot of them say that the reason they want this 5-week recess is so they can reach out to their constituents, which isn't a bad idea. I happen to think they should do their work first here back in Washington, and then afterwards they can have they can go home for their 5 weeks. I don't care if they even take off the whole year if they get their work done, which there's a lot of unfinished business. But I don't see a huge appetite by the members of Congress to do this. I think they're a little gun shy after 2009.
Well, they are, and the political professionals in both parties are literally advising them not to hold public forums. I think that's a big mistake. I think one of the most effective things you can do, particularly when your constituents are frustrated, is listen and take the questions. And maybe it takes 3 hours, but they don't do it anymore. And I think it's cynical and manipulative not to actually show up.
And I like the ones that are unscripted, where they don't pick out the people who are going to ask questions in advance so that the fix is in. I like the real sort of spontaneous, let the citizen ask a question. So, well, Matt, let us know if who's going to have what town hall meetings. I'll look at the website and see and keep track of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now you